Happy release day for JJK Volume 2. We got a box here that we're going to go into and also have some case hits at the end. And this is a set that I've been very excited about because one of my foiled out decks is actually Nanami. So we get some really cool alt arts in this set for that deck. And also it makes it competitively viable. So I would not be surprised if it does make a splash at the Gen Con regional we have coming up. So as always, we're going to go about half through the box and go card by card. And then for those who haven't seen it before, we do get a box topper in each box. For Volume 1 sets, it's always the raid fodder, and in Volume 2 sets, they can be a little bit different. In this case, it is the raid fodder for the Yuji, standard rainbow foiling, but as I mentioned, what we're here for is hopefully trying to get the triple rare Sukuna that looks very, very great, and also serialized. So let's get this in focus and just go through. So if you haven't seen it already, I do have a deck list video up that talks about every single deck from this set, combining Volume 1 and Volume 2 cards. Now, again, in Volume 2, you're going to know some of the artwork is all based around the Shibuya incident arc, and that is going to be all in this red color, so that's where a lot of that is going to be coming together. And then the rest of it is support from the first set. So we have Geto as a rare up front, and oop, I missed the Megumi as I was talking, and a red Megumi for the other foil. So for those who are unfamiliar, you do get 2 foils per pack unless you hit a action point, which will take the foil spot. And if you open up enough boxes, I mean, you're kind of thankful to not have another foil to deal with. I'd much rather have some of the action point. And I'm really happy in the case you do get what seems to be a set of them. Now, of course, the big baddie of this set is going to be the blue Sukuna deck. At the time of recording this, there's still not a word up yet if we're going to get some type of ban and restriction list. So to be determined, but I would not be surprised if we do get some change. So we'll have to see how that goes in the morning. For an SR, we have Sukuna himself. This is the big control variant. And of course, the Megami, which I'm pretty far away from the card, so I don't always notice the foiling up front, but that more darker foiling of a card for the Megami. But yeah, Sukuna is the boss of the format, as it were. Just hyper consistent, has very strong finishing power in what you have access to. Sukuna's finger just gives you extra draw and filtering. It's kind of insane to say the least. And what's really nice about our set in general is that we do have the binder promos as well, which gives us a opportunity to get a little bit of extra power in some of the other decks. So that's always welcome to see. We have another SR with Nobara. So this is a Volume 2 plus, as it were, when compared to what they got in Japan. But all the same, I'm glad they were just able to combine them for us and not have to wait for, 6 months to get a promo binder like we saw with the Bleach decks that are currently, I think the pre-order is still up if I'm not mistaken. Prison Realm, rest in peace. So here is one of the binder promo cards. It's just a alt art, a normal art to the alt art that normally comes in the set. And it is a uncommon, so it's a great way to, especially those that like the Megami deck, still get that upgrade from the binder promo without having to bling out your deck or again wait for a period of time. So a Geto and a Chozo for the rare. So the red decks that we have, they are based around the Jujutsu Sorcerers, which I think is going to be like just a favorite one to play because Yuji, Nobara, and Gojo all come together and work together very well in a deck. We have the Geto deck, which uses all of the Cursed Spirits, and this is actually one of the important ones for it. The Geto deck uses all the Cursed Spirits. You banish them from your sideline for an effect to gain their properties. It's really cool, very flavorful in that regard. It is a little awkward to line up at times, I will admit. Jogo and another Yuji. So this is another one of those binder promos. This one just happens to be a rare, so it gets the foiling treatment. Absolutely a card that you're going to want 3 to 4 of if you are playing the various blue decks in the format, because getting the double energy for cheap as well as being the color trigger is very important. It's actually a color trigger that you don't mind running compared to the other Yuji color trigger, which was not great, but you ran it to just to run it. And then the other deck is the Chozo with his partners in it. And that deck it's kind of like half of a deck, admittedly, just because of how it all comes together. It definitely usually gets blended in with some of the other ones, but it is still something you can play. And again, Chozo with his raid form, and then a Yuji. So a couple more packs here on this side. Volume 2s are smaller sets. They are 84 cards instead of the normal 100 that we have for Volume 1. So that's why we are seeing less cards for the non-red colors. Like red has 4 decks that they ultimately get, while the other ones are just upgrades or a couple cards of getting upgrades for their decks in particular. So you really only need like 1 or 2 SRs to really get impact with it. So, and there's Mojito, which is a super fun deck to play. That's all about reusing stuff from your sideline for extra value, getting unique trades when you need it, getting certain spirits back. It's a lot of fun. If you are someone who really likes graveyard recursion, then that is going to be a deck that you are going to be excited to play. But if you've played other Bondi games and you know about their love for purple style of decks, it does feel very at home here as well. A lot of the purple decks in Union Arena have that very similar play style where you get to get some type of value engine going out of your graveyard. So that is repeated here. Black Flash for the signature UG special, and then Toji for another card here. All right, so the other half of the box, we are just going to go very quickly before we get to our case hits at the end, where we have our 2 hits pulled aside. So we'll just get this back in frame, kind of do a quick fan. So we have our Black Flash that we just saw and the non-foil action point. So in each booster box, you'll get 2 non-foil action points. There's 5 types in a volume 2, and there's normally 8, if I remember correctly, in a volume 1. So there are less action point artworks in volume 2s, but what I like about the changes that they made is they made the non-foils actually appear in the set compared to Japan, which only had access to the foil one. So it's really nice to have that option in the decks to, you know, still rock the certain APs that you want without having to go all out for the various foils. So very nice that if, again, you want to play the all Yuji deck, if you want to play like the Sorcerer deck, then you probably want 3 of these action points, and it's not that bad to get, where if it was in Japan, they would still run, you know, it's only like $30, all things considered. They weren't like super expensive, but, you know, still paying $100 for action points adds up, especially if you want to match it to various decks. So we have the other action point and a Toji. So again, 2 action points per box unless you hit, and then you get your foiled action point in there. You can get 3. We have another SR with Yuji. This is, again, the Jujutsu Sorcerers deck that we were talking about. Something to know about this is the double attack goes crazy with the special that we just showcased. So you get to get a 6K attacker and then a 4K attacker, making it a very aggressive strategy. And that's one that can be... it takes a little bit of setup, admittedly, to make it all to come together, but can be quite strong when it all lines up the way that you want to. And also, they have a very good color trigger, which is pretty rare for red decks, but this is a UG that you're happy to play anyways. So it's nice to see it getting the respect of a decent color trigger, unlike some other ones we have. And we haven't hit a alt art yet, right? Yeah, so no alt art yet, but there's usually 1 to 2 per box. So we have 2 packs left. So spoiler, one of these is going to be an alt art. So there it is. So we have the Megumi, which is all about, if it just gets in focus, this is all about the attacking with the Shikigamis and getting multiple combo attacks in. This has the same accent as the Bleach deck did with the gold trim in the background. Not my favorite compared to some of the other alt arts that we're going to showcase here shortly, but still a very nice detail that we have here. And I think I mentioned that it is 6 SRs per box, so we know that this last box is, or excuse me, this last pack is going to be a SR, because it's the only thing that is left here. So, yep, we do hit the, put that out of the way, we do hit the Gojo, which is not a rare, but I love the lighter background. Ultimately, just a overall stunning card. So, again, 6 SRs. In this case, we actually did get a pretty even split. Keep in mind that there are more red SRs because it is a volume 2 set. Red is the new color, so it gets all the love. But generally speaking, I haven't opened a box that was like 4 of a single color. They are generally spread out pretty good. Now, on to the case hits, right? So in the case hits, you get 1 double star or triple star per case. And in our case, we got the Sukuna. I am 10 cases in now, and we are still not allowed to hit a triple star. That said, I am a big fan of the design of this card. I'm not sure how well this is going to come up in the camera, but like the foil inlay that they have between the gold borders that has like that foil texture in the background that also has his name. I'm going to see if I can pick this up in one of the lights. Nope, I guess you can't really see it, but the Sukuna has a foil. Oh, I had it right there. Sukuna has its own foiling right there, and that is all shared throughout the border. So really like this card just from like the styling. Oh, and then also the JJK stamping in the top right corner. all of that is individually stamped as well. So really cool card. Really nice to see actually in person. Obviously, we were really hoping for the triple star because 10 cases in, we'll have to, get it eventually. And then in each case, you also get a action point, which is foiled. So this is what Japan initially had. So we have the Gojo, Yuji, and Sukuna, if it gets back in focus, artwork here. And this one has all the nice foiling designs on the side. So there you can, I guess it really likes that light better on the side there if I can catch it. But that's where you can see all the texturing and the foiling. Again, I don't like the darker backgrounds as much, but I think from like a stylistic standpoint, this is pretty sick. But I'll definitely talk about my favorite alt arts once we get to them. So unlike the Bleach set, where we talked about getting a lot of duplicate Volume 2 alt arts, keeping in mind this had the binder promo in them, which was 11 additional cards, if I remember correctly, which means we did not get a lot of duplicates. In fact, we only got one in this entire, set of them. So we're just going to go through and talk about the individual cards. And then also, actually, is it Megumi? Nope. So the Megumi is also a one of in that regard. We'll put them off to the side. So a card that I'm very excited about, we have Kento. Again, this is going to be my foiled out deck. This is one that we are going to need multiple copies of. So very happy to at least get one of these down and out of the way. We have that new color trigger Yuji, which I was talking about, that a lot of people are excited about. It has that same gold accent foiling that we've seen in a lot of the Rare Battle promo cards. We have the redistribution. So this one was interesting because of the super rare Yuji got up to like $50 in Japan. And so they couldn't outright print it again because there was a delay in the printers and they couldn't get Volume 1 out again. So they made the alt art make an appearance in Volume 2 to try to help, at least get more cards in circulation. So this is a Volume 1 card as it were appearing in set 2. So you can see this, the note there, JJK 140. So if you haven't got your alt art UGs yet, maybe it's a good opportunity for you to get a different artwork that matches more of the cards in there. So we have the uncommon Sukuna, which again, artwork just looks really great on these. We have Shoko for the Gojo deck, again, having that same Bleach style accent. And you can tell these are the binder promos now. We have Geto, and did not put them together. Where is my... I guess we got double Geto then. So there's one Geto. And then, so the entire point of the Gojo and Geto deck is they actually play together. So you'll see they have a common art here, which goes very nice side by side. We got two of the Nobara, which I'm realizing now I probably should have made a comment about the more aggro Nobara deck that you can make with Panda with Volume 1. It's not really a deck because you are still missing like another key raid target that you really want, but technically you could make it its own deck if you really wanted to. So maybe I'll revisit that in a future video, but we got two of those. The pair that I was very excited to open and that I am 100% keeping for myself. And my favorite alt arts from this set is the Gojo and Geto with their cute little icons in the background. And it is a gold stamping. It's a very bright card. It's a beautiful card. Again, I'm going to put these on display for myself. I just really love the pairing here. I think the two cards just look great together. And again, the little accent that each one of them got, it's just a really nice touch. I absolutely love both of these. Moving on to purple, we have the Mojito. This gets back in line. So this is a common alt art for this one. We have the 5 energy Mojito, the SR that we were talking about that gets added as like a 2 of probably into the deck, but still something that the Mojito deck wanted. We have Toji, which is the uncommon and just getting a glow up of an alt art. The other binder promo Toji, which again, I like this version a lot better. I just like the blue backgrounds. I said the same thing during the Bleach videos, to be fair, but I like the lighter color backgrounds so the cards themselves really stand out and have a chance to catch some of that foiling. So again, I probably should show the foiling off this way since that's the light that is actually going to work for us. And then getting into red with some of the Jujutsu sorcerers, we have Nobara, we have Megumi with that glitter texture in the background, we have Gojo, we have Mei, and I know a lot of people are going to be excited for this one just because of the artwork. And then last but not least, we have Geto for the Cursed Spirits deck. Again, having that Bleach style where we saw it first of the gold outline in the background. So again, very excited for this set overall. Blue, I think, is definitely going to be the staple that a lot of people turn to. I think also purple is very good, all things considered, with the Ultimate Mekumaru and Toto deck. I go watch the deck list video. It's just a very strong list to consider because it has so much disruption, so much removal, so much recursion. It's really nice to see something that is a bit different from the purple decks we've had so far in terms of the type of interaction that they have, but still at the end of it all, getting the extra removal in your raid fodder is really what separates some of these decks from the tier 2 to tier 1 category. So if you're opening your boxes later today or this weekend, good luck on your polls, but definitely let me know down below what is your favorite deck from JJK Volume 2. So until next time, my friends, stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.